In the Buddhist tradition, when we talk about love, we talk about true love. True love has four elements that curiously coincide with the four levels of consciousness, which are the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and the spiritual body. In the first element of true love, we find kindness, which passes through the physical body. Here, we must be kind to the people we love. If love can't offer kindness, it isn't true love, right? In this space, material gifts, affection, the dedication of our physical body to love, the effort to obtain goods, etc., circulate. However, we must know the person we love well. If we ignore their needs, when we try to make them happy by being kind, we may only end up making them suffer. Moving on to the second element, we find joy, which passes through the emotional body. If our way of loving causes constant suffering, it is not authentic love. True love brings joy to both us and others, whether family, friends, or anyone we interact with. While, as we have seen, material things are more closely related to goodness, there are other ways to cultivate and share joy without the need for these objects. The key here is to be attentive to the other person, to be present, and to free them from negative emotions like fear or worry, giving way to faith and hope so that their emotions are positive and lasting. For loved ones who are no longer physically with us, it is best to remember them carefully, affirm their existence within us, and honor their memory, recognizing them as part of our being. Loving with this element means being present. If you're constantly distracted, preoccupied with unnecessary things, you can't offer true love. Coming to the third element, we find the understanding that lives in the mental body. Understanding has the power to eliminate suffering. If our love can't make the other person suffer less, it isn't true love. We need to understand the suffering in their thoughts to help them suffer less. For this, we need time to observe and listen, and this understanding will create love and happiness. But first, we have to be prepared to give ourselves to that person. We need to apply this practice to ourselves. We need to observe and listen to our bodies, our emotions, and our thoughts to take care of them. We must understand our body to make it suffer less. We must understand our feelings to control our emotions. And we must also observe what happens with our thoughts. In the fourth element, we have equality, which passes through the spiritual body. Here in true love, there is no discrimination between the lover and the beloved. We cannot say, "That's your problem." In true love, that person's problem is our problem, the same with their happiness and their suffering. There are no boundaries anymore. The master recounted that Buddha once showed a bowl full of water and poured a handful of salt into it. He asked the monks if they could drink the water since it was very salty. However, he explained to them that if they threw that amount of salt into a river, it would not salt it, and thousands of people would continue to drink water from the river without any problem. The Master used this metaphor to show us that the wider and vaster our love becomes like a river, the less we are affected by the difficulties or the salt we find along the way. When our heart is small and limited like a bowl, a small amount of suffering or difficulty can make us salty, bitter, resentful, or overwhelmed. But when our hearts expand to include all beings without discrimination, we develop a capacity to dilute suffering. Final conclusions. We must keep these four elements in balance. It's not about being a river so vast that you become superficial everywhere, nor about being so intensely present with one person that you exclude everyone else. When one of these elements begins to become unbalanced, the others act as a counterweight. If our sameness becomes so broad that we'll lose the ability to be present, it is a sign that we need to be attentive to certain things. If our presence becomes so intense with some that we exclude others, it is a sign that we need to cultivate more quality and breadth. The four elements need to be balanced. They are not four separate practices, but four aspects of the same true love that nourish and regulate each other. See you next video.